So all of a sudden, I'm 60 pounds lighter, and I don't even realize how it happened. Today, I went for coffee with one of my daughters, and we didn't sit. We walked around, and it was like a little bit of a hike through the woods, and it was uphill, and I wasn't out of breath, and it didn't faze me, and my knees didn't hurt. So that's a difference. Last year, we would have I would have sat down and not wanted to move.
Welcome, everybody, to the Heal Your Hunger Show. So happy to have you here. It is a great day to be alive, and you're going to love my guest today. Real and raw, a beautiful client who's had incredible success. She stopped dieting. She worked the Heal Your Hunger program, which is not focused on food and weight, but on the inner journey of healing. So I tell people that they can lose weight without dieting, and they often don't believe me. And I mean lose weight naturally without anything but healing emotional eating. And Hazel, a good example of that. She lost over 60 pounds and is still losing. And she did it all without dieting. She got off the dieting roller coaster ride. And if you're feeling a little short on hope, this interview will certainly give you some hope. Welcome, Hazel, to the Heal Your Hunger Show. I'm thrilled to have you with us.
Hi, Tricia. Nice to be
Great.
here.
Yeah, it's great to have you. And it has been so lovely, Hazel, to have you with us with the Heal Your Hunger family in our year-long program, and my goodness, you have jumped in with both feet. Can you talk about what your life was like with food before you did decide to join the Heal Your Hunger program?
Sure. So a year ago, I was off for the summer, and I literally spent most of my time on the couch watching TV, eating high carb, sweet foods. No joke. It was getting worse and worse.
Mm.
Yeah, I was just eating so much garbage,
And that was,
basically.
yeah, and that was the summertime because you're off in the summers.
Right, right.
Tell us a little bit about your profession.
I'm a paraprofessional in the local high school here with special needs kids.
Okay, high stress job.
Fun, but yeah, a little stressful sometimes.
Yeah, how long have you done that?
About 5 years.
Okay, and before that, what did you do?
I was an at-home mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. So you went back to work and had this beautiful profession that you're still in.
Yeah.
Good for you. That is powerful work and so, so needed. Wow, I'm glad they have you. So you were on the couch eating carbs and sugar. You're not eating salads, right? That's not what we binge on.
No, well, no. And if I did eat salads, it was full of carbs.
Right. Give me some croutons, right?
Yeah.
And so that way of eating and that way of being, what was the ripple effect in your life?
I was gaining more and more weight. The more I gained, the less I felt like moving, which, is a vicious cycle.
Yep.
And I don't know, I just was eating so I didn't have to feel anything.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
And like, how aware were you that you were an emotional eater?
I I was very aware that I was very aware that I was an emotional eater, but I didn't realize how bad it had gotten and how it was just getting worse and worse.
Yeah. And your weight, what weight were you at?
About almost 260 pounds.
Okay. And had you been that weight before?
No, I think that was probably the highest weight I'd been.
Okay.
I've spent a few years kind of white knuckling it and being slim, but I was crazy going to the gym all the time. It was a lifestyle that I couldn't keep up.
Yeah. So anytime you lost weight, it was like it was unsustainable.
Right, right. Yeah.
What are some of the things that you did?
So no carbs and, all the usual diets, all different diets. So I went on a really strict diet. It was, I can't remember what it was. It was like 500 calories a day.
Oh, wow. Oh my
And
God.
I lost a bunch of weight, and then I started going to the gym compulsively all the time. I would spend hours traveling to the gym, being in the gym.
Wow.
It was just another way of avoiding feeling anything. you know.
Yes. Yeah,
So
absolutely. And what do you feel like you were avoiding feeling?
stress, sadness. I mean, I'm still not great at feelings, but I've learned a lot.
Yeah, you're
Um,
getting there.
yeah. um, Happiness, even all feelings, any feelings. I didn't want to feel any feelings.
Okay, you just wanted to numb out.
Yeah, yeah, and I was really good at
Yeah.
it.
With the help of food,
Yeah,
sugar and carbs. I mean, that's why
yeah,
we pick sugar and carbs because
yes.
and not salads because they're heavy and dense and they numb us out.
Hmm. Yeah. I kind of was aware of that, but I wasn't aware as much as, now that I'm in the program, I just didn't even realize how bad it was. Mm.
100% because we're always thinking, it's like it's time to eat. I want to eat. I want to have that, or I want to have that, or when I'm done with this, I'm going to get that. And we're not
I,
thinking, oh, I want to go numb out my feelings. It's just like
right.
the next bright, yummy food that we want to eat.
And I deserve it.
I deserve,
Yeah.
right? The reward. I deserve to be on the couch feeling sick. Yes.
Yeah. It was just all wrong. Just, I
I
knew there was
know.
something wrong.
I know. Isn't that the truth? And then your family life, do you have kids at home still? Like, were your kids around?
Yeah, I have quite a few kids, but and I have two that are still living at home. I have seven kids.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
you know.
Wow. So two are still at home.
Yeah.
So what do you think they were thinking about mom? Like, do you think they noticed that you were, eating, or did they notice that you were down or not motivated?
Probably, yeah. I mean, the kids that really notice would be kids that weren't living at home at the time.
Yeah.
So today I went for coffee with my one of my daughters, and we didn't sit. We walked around, and we walked. Okay, it was like a little bit of a hike through the woods, and it was uphill, and I wasn't out of breath, and it didn't phase me, and my knees didn't hurt. So that's a difference because before last year, I would have sat down and not wanted to move.
I made an excuse, like, let's just hang out here.
I would have just said, no, I'm not going for a walk. I'm going to
Yeah.
sit down.
Yeah. So health-wise, what is different?
Okay. So my A1C, I was getting very close to diabetic, which was so scary. My A1C was through the roof. And now I'm not even pre-diabetic.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So, I,
Wow.
yeah, and not dieting, just, using the tools that your program gives me.
Yeah.
And I don't have to stuff my feelings now. And I still want to sometimes, but that's kind of a little red light that says, wait, hold on, slow down, do something different. Yeah. So
Absolutely. Yeah. And you've had significant weight loss.
almost 60 pounds. I just went under 200 pounds, which is a big deal for me. Yeah.
Of course it
So
is. That's amazing.
still got more
Beautiful.
work to do, but I'm
Yeah,
getting there.
that's
Um,
amazing.
mm,
Congratulations, Hazel. That is
mm.
so beautiful. And you've been so committed and so just showing up and doing the work. Let's dig into the 60 pounds later without dieting concept, because that's a new concept for many people who are listening. Can you talk about, like, have you ever done that before?
Mm, nope. Nope. Usually, I would think that I wasn't dieting, but I was dieting. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'd
Yeah,
fool myself to thinking, no, I'm not dieting. I'm just eating eating intuitively. I tried all of that stuff, and there were just so many missing pieces. So yeah, but the thing about this program is that I wasn't concentrating on losing weight, and I wanted to lose weight, but it wasn't
of
the main
course.
thing. Yeah. So all of a sudden, I'm 60 pounds lighter, and I don't even realize how it happened almost.
Yeah,
So,
without focusing on weight loss, which
yeah.
is exactly what Heal Your Hunger is about, is that you actually can lose weight. Actually, it's easier to lose weight when you don't focus on weight loss. Because when you focus on weight loss, you're focused on the symptom of food and weight
Hmm.
and not on what got us like overweight in the first place, right?
Exactly. Yep. Yeah.
How many years were you on the dieting roller coaster ride?
All my life. I was bulimic when I was in my 20s, and I stopped doing that. But um, yeah, really one diet after another. Gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight, just
And
not
you're in
fun.
your 50s now?
Yeah, I'm almost 60. I'm gonna be 60 in December.
Okay.
So,
Wow. Okay, so it's a long time, right?
yeah, since I was 7 years old. So, you know,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, always been an emotional eater.
Yep, over 50 years. And I get that. Me too. Me too. I mean, as far
Hmm.
back as I can remember, food was my big highlight. It's the thing
Right,
I wanted.
right, right.
And so you said there were a lot of missing pieces in the things that you had done. How would you say Heal Your Hunger has filled in those pieces?
It's given me so many tools. So I write a lot and address my unconscious feelings. I pray. I'm not a religious person, believe me. But
Yeah.
I'm into it. I believe in God now. I pray and I meditate and I read some literature, religious literature every day. And it just kind of settles into me.
So you
Uh,
do things that help you with stress
yeah,
because clearly you were stress eating.
right, right. And I don't do as much and I speak up for myself more. All the things that food was tamping down.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's the key. And I think that's the missing link so much of the time is that with what people do is they're, I call it, the living problem. Like
Hmm.
that's the way we're living. And can you speak to that? Like the way it was before versus how it is now?
Well, I ate all the time and I thought about food all the time. And I took so much food to work. I ate all the time. And now there are times to eat. And at the in-between times, they're free. And I don't think about food all the time now. And I eat salad and I don't eat sugar. And it just works for me. It's so much easier. It's a much easier life when you're not thinking about food all the time. And if you are offered food and it's not your meal time, I just don't eat it. I don't.
Yep. Yep. That's some strong 3 meal magic right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
three
yeah.
meals with nothing in between, which is kind of all we really recommend to people in Heal Your Hunger. We're not focused on food. We're really
Right.
focused on changing how we live and our
Hmm.
stress. But the structure of 3 meal magic does clear out the food noise, right? Should I eat it? Can I
Exactly.
eat it? Right? Like, can I eat more?
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So
And then what other ways, like you talked about, like not speaking up for yourself, like to other ways that you were living that you've changed?
so for example, when it comes to self-care and meditating, it's non-negotiable. I'll fight for it. Fight for the
Yeah.
right to take care of myself. And it doesn't take that much time up, but it's important. It's really important to me
Yeah,
because, I'm healing this way.
absolutely. That's so beautiful. I love you. You said you fight for it. That is so beautiful, Hazel. Our families don't want us to stop and take any time for ourselves because they want us to serve them.
Right.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah. That's the same. Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
It's scary to them.
Yeah, change is scary. Yeah, but
Mhm.
you've learned to stand for
Mhm.
yourself and what you need. And
Mhm.
then the side benefit is they get a happier mom and wife.
Right. Right. Less crabby. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. That's beautiful. And have they adjusted to the new self-caring mom and wife?
yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't know whether they realize what's going on exactly, but
Yep.
yeah, I don't have a hard time now. They just know that I'm going to disappear for an hour. And it's really 20 minutes either side of the day, but it usually lasts a bit longer than that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's some me time.
yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And how about your self-confidence and self-esteem?
Definitely. I mean, I feel better, obviously, about the way I look, but just being able to run up and down the stairs at work instead of having to take the elevator. I was starting to have to take the elevator It was
Okay.
just, I just felt awful about that. I take the stairs and I get up and go and do things easily now rather than just, how can I figure out a way to stay sitting? you know,
Yeah.
so
Some more energy.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Love it. More
Yeah.
outdoor time, sounds like.
Yeah. 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 And I walk. I don't walk every day, but I'm working on doing that every day
Hmm.
and not focusing on exercise and going to the gym. And yeah, I mean, I can do those things, but just getting outside and walking really is wonderful. Yeah,
Yeah, you're not beating yourself up with trying to burn calories.
exactly. Right. I'm going for a walk because it's nice.
Ah.
Mhm.
Oh, it sounds so lovely. That's great. So you're not dieting and like you lost 60 pounds. And
Yeah.
what I love is you also had a moment where you kind of plateaued for a little while and now things are starting to move again. Can you talk about that and what you discovered?
Yeah. I think from writing and talking to my subconscious, I've started to kind of tease out the reasons I didn't want to lose any more weight and why I had to kind of stay, without losing more for a bit. But
Yeah.
then, I listened to the calls that we do again and the lessons that we learn again and talk to my coach again. And just little by little, I start to realize I don't have to be scared of losing more weight. I can,
Yeah.
I'm, so I've lost weight before and been, fairly slim, but being a slim person in a fat person in a slim body, if you know what I mean. And now all of that's caught up and I'm okay with myself, at this weight. I don't, I feel okay being myself at this weight, if that makes sense.
You're allowing yourself to be and you're acclimating to being in a thinner body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
What I hear is you're not sabotaging it.
Right. Because there's no reason to, you know,
Yeah, you're comfortable being you at this weight, which is really big, Hazel, because anybody who's listening has experienced self-sabotage,
mhm.
because it's easy. I used to always like the thing I want more in life, and I've been 50 pounds overweight. The thing I want more in life is to be thin. Like I just want to be thin, but I didn't know I couldn't handle being thin,
Right.
right?
Right.
Until I did a lot of
Exactly.
teaching.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of inner work that goes on. And the tools are here in this program. It's
Yeah.
wonderful. Yeah.
How
It's
is this program, would you say, different from anything else you've done?
Well, there's a lot of community. There's a lot of accountability if you want it.
Hmm.
There are lots of ways of reaching out and getting help if you're feeling challenged. There's always someone to talk to. And it's just great. If you're struggling with something, we can talk to you, ask questions, talk to our sisters, the other women in the program. There's lots of support
Beautiful.
and tools and lots of tools.
Yeah, absolutely. What would you say to somebody who's on the couch eating sugar and carbs, who is
Yeah.
afraid to invest in themselves, both time and money, in actually getting help, like real help, not diet help, not, exercise help, but help with that beautiful journey of getting free from the inside out.
It's definitely worth investing in yourself for sure. If you think about how much money you waste eating all the time and trying different diets and, buying a different wardrobe because you lost weight or you gained weight, and just so much money is wasted and it doesn't get you anywhere. I'm almost 60 and it's taken me this long. And I am so grateful that I did it, that I invested in myself you know. And I get you. I understand though anybody who's sitting on the couch stuffing their feelings. I was you and I'm still you. So it's an ongoing thing that you just keep doing it.
Yeah, the healing journey. Are there any other benefits that you're noticing in your life from the inner work that you've done and the way that you're changing?
So if I if I have a problem they can't figure out, I don't always have I don't always have the answers, but I have a way of figuring it out now. Like just writing and figuring out what's really going on and where the fears are. And, often the answers will come. They not always, but, if you're patient, it does. It happens.
Yeah, because you're listening within.
Yeah, right, for
Sort of
sure.
tune in. You're not numbed out anymore, so you can listen to that still small voice inside.
Exactly. Yes. And meditating and writing and all the tools help with that. And being hungry in between meals also helps.
Yeah, can you speak to that? Because that's a new concept for many, I'm sure, too.
Right. So I lost a lot of weight without ever being hungry. He's still doing three more magic, but still overeating. And now I'm braver and I'm able to let myself be hungry in between meals. And I feel like I'm clearer then. Like that still small voice is a little louder when you allow some space, when you allow yourself to be a little empty.
I
Yeah.
love that. So true. Absolutely. Beautiful. Well, I'm inspired. I think I'd like to like sign up again.
That's funny.
Sounds like a great program.
Oh, it's an
What would
excellent
you,
program.
what
You
would
should do it.
Thank you. What would you say about the coaches? Because we have coaches and
Oh,
you have a coach.
yeah. Oh, absolutely amazing. And the coach I have lost 100 pounds many years ago. And she's an inspiration. You're an inspiration. All the coaches are wonderful. And you get to speak to not just my coach, but you get to speak to coaches at the weekends. And these women have lived this life. They know exactly where you're coming from. They know exactly when to call you out. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, coaches are wonderful.
Lots of love and
Mhm.
accountability.
Exactly.
What would
Right.
you say about being on our calls? Because we do a lot. You get one-on-one coaching and you're in community on Zoom with other women from around the globe. What would you say about being in the community and how that's helped?
It helps because everyone's on the same journey as you, and yet there are differences, and everybody's compassionate and loving and understanding, and they're always there for you. You know,
Yeah.
just the community's great. And there's the question and answer call every week is very helpful because we get to speak to you or one of the coaches and ask those deep questions, and you share and the coaches share real life experiences from your own lives, and there's nothing like it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. It's not theory, right?
Right. Yes, you didn't just make up this plan, you lived it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank God.
Mhm.
That's so beautiful. And were you hesitant to be on calls with the ladies? Because sometimes people are like, "Ooh, I don't want to air my dirty laundry,"
Yeah.
which you don't do on a Zoom call, an hour-long Zoom call, but there is a little step in to being seen and known. Was that scary for you?
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, because you're always wondering what people think of you and are they judging me, but then you realize that we're just all human and with the same issues. And yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets comfortable fast, doesn't it?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you get to really know the ladies. Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Well, Hazel, thank you so much for being so vulnerable with your story and willing to share it in service to somebody who might be needing some hope, about
Yeah,
what's possible and that there is a solution that is not focused on diets or weight loss. And
sure.
yet, weight loss is a byproduct, of overcoming emotional eating.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's do it. It's worth it, guys.
Yeah. So beautiful. Thank you so much. I so appreciate you coming on. Congratulations on all the hard work you've done. You've been so earnest and so willing to be coached to make changes, to ask questions. It's been such a pleasure to have you with us, Hazel. So, and
Hmm,
I hope we continue to stay connected. So,
sure.
yeah, thanks for coming on. I know your sisters in the program who will be listening are inspired by your experience, so I'm sure they'll be letting you know.
All right.
Thanks so much. Wishing you so
Thank,
much love.
thanks, Tricia. Same back at you.
If you're ready to get off the dieting roller coaster ride and finally make peace with food and with your body, talk to a Heal Your Hunger mentor about what steps you need to take based on your own history with food and weight. Go to healyourhunger.com and register for an emotional eating breakthrough session and see how fast you can experience real change. It's a complimentary evaluation, but there are limited spots available. So go to healyourhunger.com and register to speak with a mentor today.